What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I run down the highlights, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, for this video, some of the highlights is that we have a first look at the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. As well, we have another first look at the Maniere Air Jordan 4 in Phantom, and a lot of other first looks from Jordan Brand. Now, I also have some 2025 info. One will be a new collaboration on the Air Jordan 3, and then we have some news from Nike. And now, let's jump into the news. Some of you might remember that Ambush had a couple collaborations on the Nike Air More Uptempo Low, and Nike Sportswear will release some non-collaborative colorways of the shoes. So one of those is known as Triple White, as you can see here. And the shoes look like the Air More Uptempo, just that they're in low top form. Now, one of the things you'll notice is there's a unique design on the large Air, which runs across the sides. It kind of looks like reptile texture. And then within the Air unit, it has an aged look. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a release date for these, but they are expected to debut fall 2024, and the retail price will be $160. As of late, Nike has been changing the names a lot on signature shoes. What was once known as the Sharkadon is now known as the Nike Zoom Fill Jaxx. This is Travis Scott's signature shoe with Nike. And we have details on an upcoming colorway, which is known as Leche Blue. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Leche. Now, the image used is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's going to look. However, the official colorway is Leche Blue, Baroque Brown, Pale Ivory, and Light Chocolate. So I can definitely see Nike releasing something very similar to this, although we just don't have the confirmation as of yet. Now, this shoe is inspired by the Nike Air Spiridon, as well as the Nike Shark, the football cleats. That little shark teeth you see on the midsole, that is something you would see on the Nike Shark cleats in the 90s. Other than that, more than likely they will feature a leather, mesh, and suede build, as well as Cactus Jack branding. So for this pair, they're going to drop spring 2025, which means a release will take place between January and March, and the retail price is expected to be $170. Months and months back, it was announced that Patta and Nike Sportswear would have another collaboration on the Air Max 1. At the time, it was believed to be the Chlorophyll pair, but it wasn't confirmed. But just the other day, a photo did leak of the shoes, confirming it will be the Chlorophyll. As well, you can see the box in the photo, which celebrates the 20th anniversary of Patta. Now, this pair is a classic. I know a lot of people are wanting these to return, and they're finally going to. The official colorway is Chlorophyll in matte silver. And from the looks of it, although it's hard to tell, it appears that it's going to be built with the same materials. I also saw someone on Twitter stating that he saw some additional photos of the 2024 pair, and it does look on point compared to the 2009. Now, the shoes will feature a mixture of nubuck, mesh, and denim. We have white on the base with gray on the overlays, and then Chlorophyll, which is like a shade of green, covers the swoosh logos, top eyelets, and mudguard. They're also expected to feature Nike Air branding on the heels, a white midsole, visible Air Max unit, and then white and black on the rubber outsole. Unfortunately, for now, at least at the time of recording, we only have this one photo. And as for a release date, fall 2024 is when they're expected to drop. I did hear something about September, although that's not confirmed, and the retail price will be $160. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and we have official photos of the Air Jordan 6 Craft Pearl. So originally these were being called Paris Olympics, but it appears that the new nickname is Pearl, and more than likely it's going to still be connected to the Olympics. We just don't know how. So as you can see on the laces, there's these pearls, and it probably has to do with something connecting with Paris and pearls. I don't know too much about the history on that. But this is a women's exclusive release, and it features a pure platinum, glacier blue, metallic gold, and coconut milk color combination. Overall, these are solid. I do like the hits of glacier blue, which is on some of the branding. But in my opinion, if this is a pair that you like, I would be patient. I don't see them selling out anytime soon. But if you just like them and want to grab them on the release date, that's cool too. And you can do so on August 7th, and the retail price will be $200. Speaking of official photos, we now have official images of this shoe. Originally, they were being called Paris Olympics because the shoes were to celebrate the Olympics that are taking place in Paris. Now, at the time, I wasn't sure what the inspiration or the tie was between Paris and this pair being all gray. Some people suggested the Eiffel Tower, which I kind of thought so, since Jordan took quite a few photos next to the Eiffel Tower, but that isn't the case, and the new name for these is Wet Cement. I think the Paris Olympics name was a bit better, or just calling them Paris. That's just my opinion, but just to read from Sneakers, so everything is tied into each other and we know the background, the Wet Cement edition of the Air Jordan 4 draws inspiration from the cobblestone streets of Paris, evoking their rustic yet sophisticated aesthetic. A mix of nubuck leather and suede gives these gray hues some texture and dimension, making this monochromatic shoe fit for any rue or avenue. Now, again, they're always cheesy with their writing. They had to throw in something weird at the end, but I was able to have these in hand. Actually, at the time of recording, I have them right next to me, along with quite a few other shoes, so I'm going to be doing some shorts on them. Right now, I have these. I have the KD4 Nerf. I had the Olympic 6, and I had the gold medal Air Jordan 1. So I'm going to be doing shorts on all these. I will say, though, these in hand, they are premium. They are nice. Does it justify the $225 price tag? Not in my opinion. But yeah, if the shorts start gaining some traction and people want to see these 1-minute reviews, then going forward, I might start doing reviews again. I haven't done them in so long. We'll have to wait and see. That's jumping ahead here quite a bit. But getting back to this pair, they're going to drop on July 27th. And like I mentioned, the retail price will be $225. I knew about this shoe months ago, and I mean a long time ago. I actually believe it was in 2023. However, I never leaked it because I didn't know the colorway or any other details, but my source told me that Jayson Tatum will release an Air Jordan 1 Low OG. Now, we still don't know what it looks like. However, thanks to Sneaker Market RO, as well as Brandon 1N, again, I believe that's how you pronounce it, they provided some additional details. So this pair will feature a coconut milk, gorge green, and kinetic green color combination. So this pair is expected to be inspired by Jayson Tatum as well, due to the shades of green, more than likely the Boston Celtics, which is his team, and that makes 100% sense. But other than that, we really don't have much more information other than that they are expected to debut holiday 2024, and the retail price will be $140. I was debating about showing this in the video, but I thought, hey, why not? This is officially our first look at the Air Jordan 4 Fear, and I believe this is in toddler sizes. I'm not 100% sure. It could be preschool. That's why it may look off to you and there's no air unit. But you guys might remember months back, there was a supposed first look. I don't believe that was a first look at all. I think it was something totally different. Probably some fakes, but for those that don't know, which I'm sure everybody does, the Air Jordan 4 Fear will be returning holiday 2024. Now, the shoes originally released back in 2013, and the inspiration behind the pack, which also included the Air Jordan 3 and the Air Jordan 5, was the 2008 Become Legendary campaign. Last year, we saw the Fear Air Jordan 3 release. Those went on sale. I'm not sure if they're still sitting at places. They might be online. If anybody can find them cheap, steer me in the right direction so I can pick them up. I still haven't yet. And a lot of people are speculating that the Air Jordan 5 Fear will return in 2025. Now, I believe that's going to happen just because in 2023, we got the 3. In 2024, we got the 4. And then not only does it make sense in that order to get the 5s in 2025, but next year celebrates the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 5. So it's very likely we could see those return. And I really don't know how to judge this shoe. I'm not going to say they look on point. I mean, I guess the colors look right, but the shape is different since it's not an adult or even a grade school size. But yeah, I just really wanted to show it, briefly talk about it, and as for the release date, they drop on November 9th, and the retail price will be $215. Also, they are expected to debut in full family sizing, so we have grade school at $160, preschool at $100, and toddler sizes will cost $85. We also have a first look at the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Game Royal, and these are on point to the mock-up. Now, if the shape looks off to you, that is because our first look here is in preschool sizes. But again, it lets us confirm the color blocking, and now we know what to expect. So the color blocking matches up with the 2018 Game Royal Air Jordan 1 High OG. Except I don't think the midsole was aged on that shoe. To my recollection, if I'm wrong, let me know. I do own a pair. I actually own 2 pairs, but I haven't worn them in a while, so I don't really remember. But other than that, we have white on the base, black hits the swoosh, wings on the heel, liner, and laces. Game Royal then covers the overlays and the rubber outsole. These are definitely nice. I'm a fan of the highs, and in my opinion, the lows look great. I know a lot of people aren't fans of the cell/aged midsole. I am, so yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking these up. These will drop in full family sizing. However, I don't have the price breakdown for each size range as of yet. I do know adults will cost $140, and as for the release date, the pair will drop on November 30th. If you watched my Every Air Jordan 1 releasing for the rest of 2024 short, then you would have heard me briefly talk about the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Howard. I said the shoes were scrapped, but something would be releasing in its place. To be honest with you guys, I probably shouldn't have used that wording, so that's my apologies. I shouldn't have said the shoes were scrapped. However, they have changed significantly from what I initially heard. So, just to run it back, this was supposed to be a true collaboration between Howard University and Jordan Brand, which would be the first HBCU shoe with Jordan Brand to publicly release. Now, in the past, we've seen player exclusives made, but of course those never were released. Now, Z and I, we just got word about a huge update on the shoe, and that is that not only has the color blocking changed, but the shoes will not feature Howard University branding. So this is more of like a nod to the school, something we have seen from Jordan Brand in the past, especially on the collegiate series. The color blocking was supposed to resemble the pair that was given to the women's basketball team back in 2023. The pair was supposed to feature more red. However, what I'm showing now is an accurate mock-up of what's releasing. So the shoes will feature a white, gym red, midnight navy, neutral gray, cell, and muslin color combination. They'll feature white on the base, navy hits the swoosh, wings on the heel, eyelets, and around the toe. They'll also come with a mini swoosh on the toe, which is done in red, and then more red wraps the heel and hinted on the tongue. Other details will include a cell midsole and a gum rubber outsole. So again, my apologies for stating that they were scrapped because I should have been a little more clear on that, but another thing is that shorts, they're meant to be short and you only have a certain amount of time to really talk about stuff before it no longer becomes a short. But looking back, I probably should have worded it differently or just left the shoes out of that video. But this pair is expected to debut on October 12th, and the retail price will be $140. Let me know your thoughts on the Howard Air Jordan 1 Low OG, how they look now, or were you guys feeling the previous pair? We also received a first look at the Air Jordan 9 Olive. So for those that don't know, this is an original colorway and was released back in 1993. Now there's a few things I want to talk about, good and bad, about these images. These are authentic photos. They come from Size, that's a retailer in the UK. But before I get to that, this pair also dropped back in 2002, and then we saw another release take place in 2012, which in my opinion, I think the overall shape, the materials used look horrible on that pair. Jordan Brand also released the Air Jordan 9 Boot NRG Olive in 2017. That pair was a bit beefier, it was meant to be a boot, and it had a rugged rubber outsole. A lot of people say that the Air Jordan 9 reminds them of a boot, so it makes sense that Jordan Brand converted that release into a boot, and they actually look kind of nice. Now, I don't want to seem super negative here, so there are some qualities that I do like, but one of the things that I don't like, and this could be the lighting, so let's not get too worked up about it, and that is the shade used on the mudguard that goes up to the ankle, and as you can see here, it appears that it's in brown. Now, it's supposed to be olive. It should have like a green hue to it, not super strong, but even the 2012 release, The shade used was olive. Although I hate that release, I will give it that. The blocking was on point. Now, I'm really hoping that, again, it's just the lighting of these images. Because in my opinion, this is kind of a big mess up. Now, let's talk about what I like about the shoes. The number one thing would be the overall shape. These look on point to the Air Jordan 9 powder blue, and those, including this pair, is closer to the OG shape. Another thing that I like is the leather on the upper. So on the 2012 pair, it featured like a glossy, shiny leather. It looks very cheap, and I was never a fan of that. This, it looks more matte. It has a matte finish. I know we're just looking at photos here, but just the quality looks better in my opinion. Again, hopefully this is just the lighting, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, as for a release date, this pair is expected to drop on November 16th. Now, it's possible they could have been moved up to October, but I don't have confirmation on that just yet. And the retail price will be $210. I know I have a lot of info in this video, but I'm going to sneak in a little bit of 2025 info for you guys. And one of those is that the Air Jordan 11 Low Igloo will debut summer 2025. Now, a couple things first, this is a mock-up. The actual color blocking has yet to be confirmed, and this is a women's exclusive release. So we don't have a ton of details, but the shoes will feature a white and igloo color combination. So I kind of expect the color blocking to be like this. There could be some changes. For example, instead of igloo, which is that shade of green, on the outsole, it could have a milky translucent outsole or something along those lines. Very small and simple. Now, other than that, this pair is expected to debut summer 2025, which means the release will take place between April and June, and the retail price will be $190. For this information, Z Sneakerhead Z and I just decided to do a silhouette of the Air Jordan 3, and the reason for that is that this is going to be a collaboration. Now, sadly, we don't know with who. I do have the colorway and the style code. Currently, I don't know the retail price, but they are labeled the Air Jordan 3 Retro OG SPGH. So previously, I thought GH was the collaborator, but this is showing up on a lot of these leaks that I'm getting sent. I had no idea what it could be, but some people suggested it could be Georgetown Hoyas or even Gentry Humphreys, and I sent Gentry a DM. I just thought I'd ask, hey, is this anything to do with you? I guess he's big time because he had a receptionist respond to me and said, hey, they'll let me know. They never did, but it turns out that a lot of other shoes now have this GH tag to it. So basically, they're trying to throw some people off, but the SP does stand for Special Projects, which typically means a collaboration. Not all the time, but typically. Now, another factor of this is it's labeled an OG, so more than likely it will have Nike Air branding. Now, the colorway will be white, black, sport royal, challenge red, pale vanilla, and college gray. So just doing some thinking, the colorway kind of reminds me of the Union Air Jordan 1 collab. Now, I'm not stating that this is a collaboration between Union and Jordan brand because I have no idea. However, I have heard, just rumors here, they do have something in the works. But that's something different, not with this shoe. I don't know that. Just want to throw that out there for some people who are listening. But yeah, unfortunately, that's pretty much all the info I have for this pair. They are expected to debut summer 2025, which means the release will take place between April and June. We have a lot of first looks in this video, and let's add one more to the list. This is a first look at the Maniere Air Jordan 4 Phantom. Now, this is a women's exclusive release, however, they will debut in extended women's sizing. This pair looks different compared to the pair that James Whitner, the owner of Maniere, had on feet months and months back. Now, the overall color blocking does match up, but what I noticed that was different is the heel tabs. So on the pair he was wearing, it featured translucent heel tabs with Maniere and Nike Air branding, but from what we see here, it'll just feature Nike Air branding done in black. So the pair appears to feature a mixture of suede and leather, as well as satin with a quilted finish on the liner, giving it a premium vibe. And something I do like about the shoes, it looks like the tongue is thinner. Now, we've seen that on the Air Jordan 5 with his collabs, but with that shoe, the PE version that is, was thinner. So I thought that was a nod to MJ's PE, and it could have been. Maybe he just likes the thinner tongue, so that's why he's using it here. They will feature age detailing, as you can see on the lower part of the midsole. On the left tongue, we have Maniere's A logo stamped, and then on the right, we have the Jumpman. They also come with the Nike Air hang tag, which is done in Burgundy Crush, and it looks like there's another tag attached to it. Now, unfortunately, we only have the one photo, so we can't really go over other angles, but overall, I think these look nice. These look very clean. Now, like I mentioned, they are dropping in women's sizing, but expected to be available in extended women's sizing, and the release date is September 19th. The retail price will be $250. A couple videos back, I believe, I went on a rant about a first look at the Air Jordan 3 OG Black Cement. A lot of people were posting that it was a first look. I believe that it was actually a fake. A lot of you did as well. I saw all the comments. I responded to every one of them. So I feel very safe to say, yeah, those were fake. But we now actually do have a first look, and these are authentic. These photos come from JD Sports. It was leaked from their server. And overall, I gotta say, I am happy with the look of the shoe. I'm happy with the overall build. We can definitely see that the elephant print, there's smooth edges, they're not sharp. Is it 100% perfect? No, but in my opinion, it looks a lot better compared to some of the past releases. Now, what I did find interesting here is the elephant print. It's a lot lighter on this pair compared to any of the previous releases. So Z Sneaker Z put like this photo up, and I'm going to include it here of all the Black Cement Air Jordan 3s through the years. I will say it's closer, but it's not 100% on point. I'm not sure why they decided for the light elephant print. On the 1988 pair, it's definitely darker, and you can see the overlay where the elephant print is around the toe. It's thinner. This pair is thinner compared to the other releases, but it's not quite there yet. Almost. Now, another thing you could see is the tongue. So the red on the inside of the tongue, it's tucked away on the 88 pair, and you can see throughout the years where it's visible on all of the other ones. But the 2024 pair, it will be tucked away. That is unlike the other photo that I showed. Another thing that's weird is these are supposed to feature cells, so I expected them to have somewhat of an aged midsole, and maybe it's due to the lighting. I'm not sure, but this doesn't really look aged to me, which is a good thing. I know a lot of people rather have a white midsole. I totally get that, but it could be the lighting. I'm not entirely sure. The leather does look decent. Again, we're just looking at a photo here. We can't 100% confirm it. That's something you should do in hand. But other than that, I would have to say that the overall shape is a lot better than the 2008, 2011, and 2018 release. I do own all three of those releases. I would say the 2011 is probably the worst material-wise. The 2018 wasn't horrible, but it wasn't close to the OG. This appears to be a lot closer, but again, I'm just confused on the lighter elephant print. That could also be due to the lighting. I don't know, I just feel like it was too good to be true when Jordan Brand says, oh, it's going to be all OG specs, we're going to have it the closest to OG. This is from them, but we've heard it so many times that, you know, there's always something that's left off. There's always something off. So, in my opinion, they could just re-release the shoes in a couple years saying, oh, we fixed this. We now have the elephant print correct. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I'm still going to buy a pair. I'm probably going to buy 2 pairs because I do like the look. I like the shape. I'm just not a fan of the elephant print. That's just me. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as for the release details, this pair will drop on November 23rd. They will be available in full family sizing, so we have men's priced at $220, grade school at $150, preschool at $90, and toddler sizes will cost $75. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now tomorrow I will be dropping a short. I'm not entirely sure of what yet. Like I mentioned earlier, I do have a bunch of shoes just sitting that I need to record, so I'm definitely going to be doing that after this video drops. And then on Monday I'm going to drop another long video kind of like this with some more 2025 info. Now for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.